This is it. This is the time everyone keeps asking me for. And I'm going to give you my official, this is the official record prediction. What is up, Fin fans? How is everyone doing today? The NFL season starts on Thursday. Tomorrow, I will have my Pick'ems video out. Friday, I will have my preview video out. It is on and rolling, and it's going to be fun. So let's pick the season and let's give a record prediction. Before we jump into that, though, a lot of you guys have been asking about the Pick'em League. Hey, are you still doing it? This and that. Yes. So in the pinned top comment, I am going to put the link for the Pick'em League, and I'm going to put the password to join the Pick'em League. So it'll be like the link and then the password. And I'll put that at the pinned top comments. If you scroll down to the comment section, there should be the very top one. You'll see. If you want to join, it's free. And first place, I'll send you something cool. So again, and all you're doing is picking. There's no spreads or anything. You're just picking winner losers every week. Make sure you sign up before Thursday because you want to get as many points for as many picks and yada yada. But I will put it pinned at the top comment so you guys can join and be part of the Pick'em League. Should be fun again this year. And yeah. But without further ado, let's jump into schedule. Now, the schedule came out May, and a lot of people were picking. Oh, the Dolphins are going to go this. Dolphins are going to go that. You know, you have people all over the media and everything picking teams and their schedule, who's going to win the division, yada yada. I will say this, and I will preference this. I've been okay at picking like some of my. Oh, I think they'll sweep, and I'll think this will happen or that. It has been pretty good. I think I've been off my record predictions by like a game or two for the past couple of years, but a lot can change. So I'm going to talk about that a lot, how a lot can change from now until week 15 when we face the Houston Texans. Like a lot can change. Actually, you know what? Because I think I cut this off a little bit. Let me, hold on. I want to get the whole thing in there. There we go. I want to make sure it's as big as possible. You guys can see it. Okay. So we're going to jump into this. Bada bing, bada boom. We're starting with Sunday's game. The Miami Dolphins hosting the Arizona Cardinals. If you want to know what site this is, it's Playoff Predictors. You can go check it out and you can like check like, hey, what games do we have to win to do what towards the end of the year. I am not going into full detail on this game. I have on Friday, I'm going to go into the injury report. I'm going to go into our team's depth versus their team's depth. I'm going to go into 5 things the Dolphins need to do. A lot of stuff. But for the purpose of this video, I'm picking the Miami Dolphins. That's all I'm going to say about that. Week 2, short week, Thursday Night Football, hosting the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, they cried so much that now they don't have to play Miami 1 o'clock in September, but it's still September football, regardless if it's 1 o'clock, 8:15. It is going to be hot and humid. It is still going to take effect, and this is a very important game, like I talked about yesterday in the 2024 expectation video. I have the Miami Dolphins winning this one. I think that the humidity and the short week and the Bills having to travel because, and I looked it up, I got all the information. Home teams on Thursday Night Football all the way back since 2006 when it became a thing, because they had 6 games in 2006 on Thursdays. All the way since then, home teams are a 125 and 85. So the home teams do have an advantage. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins for the home field advantage, for the heat. And because the Buffalo Bills, I think it's our time. Then we travel over to Seattle. I like this move. I think the Dolphins are the better team. I also think that the travel to the West Coast isn't going to hurt us that bad because it is going Thursday. So they have what? Like 9 days before their next game, so they're able to travel. They might even leave Saturday and get acclimated being on the West Coast against Seattle. Geno Smith is still a good quarterback, but he's not one that scares me as if we were facing Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, or even CJ Stroud scares me more than Geno Smith. DK Metcalf, I like their defense might be good with the fact that McDonald's over there, but I'm still going with the Miami Dolphins. I like them in that one. Then we come home again. So we're traveling from the West Coast over to the East Coast, and the schedule makers gave us more grace because our home game back from that is a Monday night game. So we get that extra day. So we get 2 extra days to travel to Seattle, and then we get the extra day coming home, and we're facing a team that the Miami Dolphins should have beaten last year. The Tennessee Titans, the last 2 times we played them, have been a pain in our side, whether it was the cold weather game in Tennessee, or whether it was that Monday night game where everything fell apart within the last 4 minutes of the game. This is a game that I know for a fact, Bradley Chubb, like I said in yesterday's video, really wished he was playing this game because he was a big reason why we kind of lost that game with him throwing his helmet, missing the sack on Will Levis. But for a fact, the Dolphin players are just circling this one because, the Dive Bar podcast, they had Blake Ferguson on where he talked about we should not have had to play in Missouri. We should have done the right thing. We should have beaten the right teams, yada, yada. I think the Dolphins take this one. I think they're very angry going into this one, and I think they're going to take care of business. Now, Miami is heading to New England week 5. It's like the beginning of October. It's not going to be too crazy, too bad. Tua Tagovailoa, the Patriots have yet to beat him. Now, Bill Belichick isn't their coach anymore. It's Jerod Mayo. We don't know who their quarterback is going to be at this point when it comes to, was it going to be Brissett? It's going to be Drake May. We don't know what the team's going to look like, how they're going to, they got rid of Judon, which scared the crap out of me. And now they don't really have much. They're a up-and-coming team. I got the Miami Dolphins winning this one. So if we go into our bye, week 6, 5-0, that would be fantastic. Now, is there a chance we slip up against Seattle? Is there a chance Buffalo comes in and they beat us? Is there a chance that the Jaguars take it week 1? Yes, 100%. We can be going into the bye week 4-1, 4-2. Minimum 4-1, 3-2. Minimum 4-1. If we go into the bye anything less than 4-1, like 3-2, we shouldn't have lost to a team that we lost to, right? Say we lose to New England, should not have lost to New England. But going into this bye now, you're coming out of the bye healthier. You might be saying, how are they healthier, Doug? Well, OBJ is going to be off the pub by this point. Bradley Chubb will be off the pub by this point. Isaiah Wynn will be off the pub by this point. Then your injured reserve players designated for return, Cam Smith and River Craycraft, will be off the pup by this time. So going into the Indianapolis Colts game, the Miami Dolphins traveling to Indy, again, a dome team though, they'll be healthier. And I think, I like Indy. Their rookie quarterback, he was a rookie last year, but he kind of still is because he didn't play a full season. They still have Jonathan Taylor. We'll be able to really see. Because, if you look at the first few weeks, you got Travis Etienne, you got Cook with the Bills. Seattle doesn't really have a big running back. Pollard with the Titans, and then you got Stevenson with the, we're not facing these, beside Buffalo is probably the only team that you're going to be really facing a big run-heavy team. I think this is going to be your first test as Miami Dolphin defense. Can you stop the run against the Indianapolis Colts? And I think the Miami Dolphins take it. I think the defense will start to, get on a roll. And I really think they'll come in and they'll take care of business. And I don't know if their defense can stand with our offense. Then we're home. We have a West Coast team traveling over to Miami, home. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. I think the Dolphins, again, they play different at home. I think they take this. Now they have a stretch that this is a little tough of a stretch before we get to the big stretch that I'm going to talk about. heading to Buffalo. Buffalo, playing in Buffalo with that lakefront effect. You know, it's what, November, early November-ish, late October-ish in week 9. You could say it's not going to be that cold, but you never know when it comes to playing in Buffalo. I'm going to give Buffalo this one. You know, we play different at home. Buffalo plays different at home. Then we have to go over it. You know, and again, schedule makers kind of gave us a little bit of a break, because then we come home from Buffalo, then we have to travel over to the West Coast to face the Rams, but they put that game on Monday night. So we get an extra day to travel. But I think, you know, with the Rams, you got Puka, you got Cooper, Stafford is still, you know, their defense doesn't scare me as much now that they don't have Aaron Donald on there. But just because you got back-to-back back-to-back away games, I'm going to give the Rams this one. I think there's a little bit of a slip up there. So we started hot. We started, 7-0, kind of slipped up a little bit. So we're sitting here at 7-2. But I think things... You know, I think I'm trying to be as realistic as possible without sounding like a homer. But I think that's that. Then we come home. We have a nice 2-game home stretch. First, we face the Raiders. Is it going to be Aiden O'Connell? And is it going to be Gardner Minshew? Is it a possibility of the Raiders trade for a quarterback during the trade deadline? Again, you could say the flip for the Dolphins. Do they make a trade for somebody during the trade deadline? You know, we did the Bradley Chubb trade, even though a lot of wanted it to be Roquan Smith. I have the Dolphins winning this one. It is Christian Wilkins coming back. It's going to be a lot of their defense trying to stop our offense, whereas, you know, I'm not that afraid of their offense. They don't have their stud running back anymore in Jones. Yeah, they do have Devontae Adams, which is still a thing. But again, who's their quarterback? Can we get pressure on him? All that stuff. I have the Dolphins winning this one. I do have the Dolphins sweeping the New England Patriots. Again, this time we are home, and that is going to be a big thing there. And, you know, again, they're up and coming. So at this point, you're now sitting at 9-2. So all of a sudden, you're going into this hard 6-game stretch at a great situation. You're sitting at 9-2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8-2. My apologies. We're sitting at 8-2, right? 9-2. I'm losing it. We're sitting at 9-2. This is where the Dolphins need to take care of business. This is where the Dolphins need to be like, hey, we're at 9-2. We probably have potential to the number 1 seed, minimum the number 2 seed. We have a ton of potential to win the division. You know, we already, split with Buffalo. We swept the Patriots. We got the Jets coming up. We got to take care of business. Now, short week again. And I told you guys, short week, what the home team is. It is in Lambeau. I'm going to give this one to the Green Bay Packers. They need to get off that skid of losing in the cold. Will this be the game? I don't know, but I'm only giving the Packers the nod because it's a short week. If it wasn't a Thursday game and it was a Sunday game, I might be, giving the Dolphins that little how you do, but it is a Thursday night game, so I'm giving it to the Green Bay Packers. Then we are hosting the Jets Sunday home. Again, that's what hosting means, Doug. Is Aaron Rodgers playing? Who's the quarterback? Is it Tyrod Taylor? Yeah, they got Tyrod. Is it their rookie they drafted? We don't know, right? At this situation in the season, a lot could change. A lot could change for the Dolphins. The Dolphins dealing with injuries. Who's dealing with injuries? But I'm going with the Dolphins because they are home. Then we are traveling to the Houston Texans. Now, the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud, they have Joe Mixon now. They got the rookie Anderson. They got Nico Collins. I know they traded for a pass rusher. My brain's just not working right now, so you can comment it below. They're a hot team. The Dolphins, we'll see what they are at this point. I'm going to see, this is where I start to this is getting difficult for me. Because right now I have us at 10-3. And that would be a great record. 10-3 going into the last 4 games of the season. You're fighting for that number 1 seed. And if you can get the number 1 seed and you can have home field advantage throughout the whole thing, it would be a huge advantage for the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is where it gets hard again. I don't know what the health of these teams look like. So this is all speculation. This is all, our team versus their team, stat for stat, team for team, healthy versus healthy. Can our defense stop CJ Stroud? We saw what the Jets did to CJ Stroud last year, made him look like a rookie. We saw what the Ravens did to CJ Stroud, made him look like a rookie. Like, he's not unbeatable. But can the Dolphins do it on the road against a formidable team? For the sake of trying to be unbiased, I will just give the nod to the home team right now, because I think they're kind of evenly matched, the Dolphins and the Texans right now. So I'll give them that little bit of a nod. Then the Dolphins are hosting the 49ers. They did put the game at 4:15, so technically to the 49ers, it's a 1 o'clock game. But the Dolphins are home for this one. And you might laugh at this. You might say you're out of your mind. You don't know what you're talking about. But the 49ers always drop it to a team, regardless of how good they are or how hot they're playing. They've lost to teams that they shouldn't have. And if you think it's the Dolphins are less than, I still think the Dolphins take this one because the Dolphins are home. I think that is a big reason why. And again, we'll see what we are at health-wise. So right now we are sitting at 11-4 going into the last two games of the season. Now, I said to you guys in yesterday's record prediction, if you notice, from week 8 to week 16, I have all the home teams winning those games. It's a big advantage to be home. It's a very big advantage. Now, if you remember what I said in yesterday's expectation video for the 2024 Miami Dolphins, you can't have less than 11 wins. You just can't do worse. They already hit 11. So now this is, top of the order, top of the morning to you. Dolphins heading to Cleveland, Sunday Night Football, late December. You know for a fact it is going to be cold. It is going to be very cold. I had them losing to Green Bay a Thursday night in a cold weather game. I had them losing to Buffalo in a November game, late October, November game. Don't know what it's going to be like weather-wise. What is the Cleveland Browns going to look like at this point? Is Deshaun Watson going to be 100%? He was getting sore in preseason, throwing in practice. Will he make it to the end of the year? Will Nick Chubb be back? What is the state of their team? What is the Dolphins fighting for? Are they fighting for a seed? Are they fighting for the division? Is the division still that tight because Aaron Rodgers is playing a full season and the Buffalo Bills are still playing hot? And it's a crazy race where the AFC East is that good. I have the Miami Dolphins taking this one. I think this is the game where they win in the cold because they've done it before. They won in Pittsburgh in the snow with Ryan Tannehill as our quarterback. They've won in games like that, and they've won in the cold. It is possible, and I think they pull it together. I think Tua has a game, and I think we kind of get that first little monkey off our back because there's a few of them that we have to get off our back. So now we're sitting at 12-4 going into the last game of the season, heading to the Jets to play the Jets. And what does this situation look like, right? Because, again, the Miami Dolphins are sitting at 12-4. What is this situation looking like? Are they resting starters? Did they already clinch the number 1 seed? Did they clinch minimum number 2 seed so they have some type of home field advantage? What are they looking at right now? For transparency point, I'm going to... Now, me personally, I think they sweep the Jets again until the Jets prove otherwise when it comes to Tua Tagovailoa, because over the last 3 years, as much as Jet fans don't want to hear it, the last, 7 meetings with the Miami Dolphins, you guys won once. The Dolphins are 6-1 versus the Jets, and the Jets are 1-6 versus Miami. So until you prove otherwise and you can say, well, this and that, it's like us in Buffalo. We are your Buffalo Bills, Jets. As much as you want to poo-poo and as much as you want to say this or that, we're your Buffalo Bills. We've beaten Buffalo once in the last 7 outings. We've beat you every time except for once. So I am actually going to have the Dolphins sweep the Jets. But it could be very easily the other way. So I have the Dolphins going 13-4, or very easily they can go 12-5. But I do think that the Dolphins will do better than they did last season. Again, like I said in yesterday's 2024 expectation video, my basement for this team is like 10 wins. So again, real quick, we'll go back here. 10 wins is they fall apart, right? You're kind of looking at, you're looking at this. This is 11-6. Like if they fall apart at the end of the year, which we really hope they don't, that's your 10-6, right? You get your typical 10-7. Sorry, you get your typical Miami Dolphins. This is your typical Miami Dolphins. We hit that 6-game hard stretch. We lose to the Packers. We beat the Jets at home, and then we flop the last 4 games. Boom, there's your 10-7. We sneak into the playoffs. We're very upset with this team, yada, yada. A different team, a team that will come out and say, hey, we are not the same Miami Dolphins team as this team right here, where they finished the season 13-4. I could see 13-4 being their ceiling, 10-7 being their basement. Comment below. What do you think of my record prediction? Do you think I was fair? Do you think I was biased? Do you think I was unbiased? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you tomorrow with my Pick'em League. And again, the pinned comment if you want to join the Pick'em League, and the password is in the pinned comment. And I'll see you tomorrow with the picks with Jason Sarney. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.